And welcome along and welcome back to our Seasons from Scratch Let's Play here on Felsbrun. Today we have this field to finish off. We've got field 9 that needs doing. So we're going to get started with that. And once we've got this, so this of course is a contract left over from last time. My hope is that once we've got this done, what we'll be able to do is go and do the and hopefully be able to pick up more contracts after this. Currently there aren't any listed, but there are an awful lot of fields that are ready. So yeah, we'll see if we can knock this field out fairly quickly and get ourselves working nicely and get ourselves some money in, because as you can see, we do have minus 3,161 at the moment. So basically the contracts, we're looking to keep them to keep us going throughout the season, throughout the harvest, and then by the time we finish, we should have a nice store of crop to sell over the winter as well, and make a little bit of extra cash. Well, hopefully a lot of extra cash. That we might be able to put towards some more land or machinery or bits like that. But we will see how we go. For now though, I'm just going to get the headlands cut off this field, and we'll see when we've got a nice full trailer to go and get it tipped. So we're 82% full now, and I'm going to set this on a hired worker and tab over to our tractor here. So over to our HTZ, so that we can go and get this emptied. We've got 47% full in here, so yeah, we're going to go and tip this time. Looks like this is heading down towards the port area. So we're going to be doing mostly carting from here on in, I think. Because it'll be the easiest way for us to keep the combine running. One of the nice things about this tractor, of course, is its manoeuvrability to turn around to unload the combine. We should be able to keep the combine going, although having said that, it has just stopped because it's full. Our brake is blocked by an object. There we go, he's off again. Right. Let's. We should be able to get this this trailer full now. Okay. The helpers on here seem to be running. Stop, go, braking, helper. I'm hoping should be a helper unload, but maybe not. Okay, for some reason my helpers are stopping when it's emptying. I'm wondering if it thinks it's blocked. It doesn't seem to think it's blocked. Give it one more try. Right out. Yeah, no, it's thinking it's blocked, which is a bit weird. So we'll just go and tip this. I think that must be an oddity with this combine. Let's take this then. Where are we actually going with this? Over to Grain Elevator East. So we'll head up that way. We're not going to be able to keep this combine running, unfortunately. We can't with the helper. It's going to have that blocked thing come up. So we will keep this running. We're going to go and have a look at how our crops are doing. I don't think our crops are looking, because this is our field here, are looking quite good, but I don't think they're going to be ready till the next game day. So yeah, it's keeping an eye now really on the next harvest that appears, because we want to grab every harvest contract that comes up and see if we can work our way through it. All right, see if we can work our way through pretty much everything. Here we are at the Grain Elevator East. So we're gonna bring this into here and get this tipped. Very nice. Very nice. And this isn't going to be that much of this contract, I don't think. It'll be a little bit, which will be good, but yeah, there we go. Wow, it is a third of the contract, so that's quite cool. We've got, we should only have 3 loads that we need to get down here in order to complete this contract as a result. And it should be pretty exact with this trailer, which is absolutely fantastic. Utterly brilliant, that is. Will make it easier for us to store the remainder. So I'm quite pleased with that. One thing on a different note, one thing that I do find rather interesting about this tractor in particular is that this is a Ukrainian tractor, and it's right-hand drive. So if anybody can tell me anything about that, if anybody can tell me why this tractor is right-hand drive when it's from Eastern Europe, I would be very, very interested in that, because it's just one of those things where I was driving down here and realizing that that it would actually be a tractor that would work very, very well in the UK because it's right-hand drive, but it's not from here. It's it is from the eastern side of Europe. So yeah, that's a small tangent of thought I get while I'm driving around and doing these things. Back to the field, and our combine is full, so we need to immediately go and empty it. It has got its auger into the field, unfortunately, so we'll have to take the hard worker off and back it up and get it emptied. While we're emptying it, though, we can go and check on what the situation is with our other stuff. So that's good. Let's pull this up here then. Go jump in the combine. Back it out, and then we can go and fill up our trailer. So, perfect. Right, let's have a look at what else is going on the farm. So, looking through our contracts, we've got this active contract. No other active harvesting contracts or other harvesting contracts are available yet. I think this is going to take us most of the day anyway, so that's not too much of a problem. As far as the chickens go, we sorted out the chickens last time, so they are good as well. And our fields, if we look at field 18 and 26, which are our 2 fields, neither of those is ready yet. You can see 11 and 23 are the only other 2 that are ready, and neither of those have got harvesting contracts on them yet. 13 and 14 have been harvested as of 19 and 20. So I'm slightly disappointed we've not had harvest contracts come up on those. So it is interesting. Not every field comes up with a harvest contract. It tends to be that you just get parts of it doing it, which is intriguing. So let's turn this back on, and what we'll do for the last little bit of this field is set our GPS as well. Hopefully we got enough field left to do this. Yes, we have. Excellent. Now I just want to check the width on this. It's got a 30-foot width on it, which is not the width of our thing. And this is where I think we have an issue with the combine, because the combine is detecting 29 foot as its width, and it's really not. So we're going to up that. It's only about 20 foot, I think. I'm going to put the lines on for now, and we'll see how that matches our combine. That seems to be pretty good. So we'll cut in here, and hopefully that means that we'll be in a good place. Down with the header, and away we go. So it looks like we're going to be setting the hired worker going for us to go and empty each time, but we'll then be able to come and cut this ourselves for the other half of the tank, which is good, or for the second tank, which is good. So it gives me a nice little bit of variety here, and we can do this quite nicely as well with the GPS. That's That's okay. But there are issues with this combine, interestingly, that I didn't know were a problem. And we've used this before. I'm guessing we've never used this. Because we used this on Meadowgrove. I'm guessing I never used this with GPS. Because, yeah, that would have become very, very obvious very quickly if I had. It is working, and I do have to manually set it. But there's I think the collision for the header is set a lot wider than the actual header is. And that's what's causing this this problem with us being unable to unload as we're going. It's also causing the issue with the doing the auto width. So yeah, there's quite there's a couple of issues with this combine. I cannot wait for the Class DLC to come out and for me to be able to use proper, non-modded version of Class stuff in game. Because it's always the whole thing of knowing I'm not going to come across these issues, and I freely admit I know there are some people who come back and go, oh, but there were problems with the standard in-game tractors with FS19. Yes, but it was things like missing windows. It's never really been that the tractor doesn't function or you can't use the width on it, or the width on its implements don't work properly and things like that. It's always more minor things really, with a couple of exceptions. But it's with mods it's always hit and miss, especially mods like this one which haven't come through the mod hub. You're always a little bit wary of how well their testing's gone. And the width of the header and the collisions on the header on this, perfect example of that. It's something that is easy to miss. And shows a little bit of how thoroughly something's been tested. Up to 90% full at this point. And are we going to get to the end of this row? We might get to the end of this row. I'm going to turn the GPS off because there's a whole thing with the enhanced vehicle where it causes issues with GPS and the stop. And there's the stop. So over to our tractor. And we can empty this. So we're going to empty this now. Again, we're at 47% full. But what we're going to do is we're going to go round. We will get this emptied. Heads down and hopefully... Well, I kind of want to fill this completely up if I can. Would be much better. So what we're going to do is I'm not quite going to go and tip this yet. We're going to empty this now. We're going to take our combine and do the next row back. And empty that as well. And that way, hopefully, we can just top off this trailer and take a 100% trailer. Because if we can do that, we should get over our 100% threshold when we take the third trailer. So that's what I'm seeking to do at the moment. It's a little bit risky because it means our combine is going to be sitting there for a little bit longer. But I don't think that's going to be a massive problem. He did miss a little bit at the side there last time. There we go. And away we go. Perfect. So I would put it on the hired worker here, but two reasons I want to. One is that we're going to end up with it turning and doing just that strip there and finishing when we're doing our tipping. Which isn't the end of the world. I can easily tab back and sort that. The other, of course, is this stopping issue. Right, another... I think if we go up to like 18%, hopefully that is enough. So let's see if we can top this off. Yeah, it's we need less than 1,000 litres to top this off. So we'll do that. with what I've just said, actually, I am going to put that on hired worker. Right, and let's get that out and top this off. And once that's topped off, there we go, we can put the auger back in, hire the worker. Oh, we've still got GPS on. Again, GPS has issues with hired worker. I don't think it's GPS so much as what the enhanced vehicle mod does. The enhanced vehicle mod tends to do some funky stuff that then makes other things that control speed and things not work properly. So yeah, there is that. And here we are for load number 2. Right, let's get this tipped, see how much we hit with 18,000 litres. As we were just under last time, so we want to be at least 67% this time. And there we go, 68%, absolutely perfect. So we don't need a full trailer full off the field this time. We can do about, well, we can hit sort of that 32% that we hit the first time. 2 full tanks off the combine should finish this field off, which is fantastic. Which, speaking of which, the combine is 94% full. So we need to get back to the field pronto. Sure enough, there is our combine sitting there waiting for us, ready to unload. It is now 20-3 in game. We are going to be hard pushed to get this out today. And you might have noticed as well that that our money has leaped up to another giant minus number. We're up to minus 11,000 now, which is not good. That is because our combine has clocked over an hour of hire, which always costs a load of money. So I'm just having a look and seeing if there's anything that we could do that could bring us in a load of money. Again, they're still trying to sow these potatoes in field 24. But we could send off our other tractor to go and do some fertilizing possibly. That would mitigate things a little bit. We need to move out of the way, otherwise the combine cannot move. There we go. So yeah, there is possibly that. But to be honest, personally, what I'm thinking, I'm going to take hired worker off this, is we'll just crack on with this. We'll just keep going with this. We will make, overall, we will make enough money in order to cover the costs. But I think we're going to spend most of the autumn in the red as a result. I think it's going to be a fairly a month that is going to be fairly expensive as a result. Let's just bring up the lines for this, because with the hired worker has got slightly off track, and I need to realign everything. There we go. Yeah, so the hired worker has been working at a similar width, I think, but not quite. And this is the thing about manually setting the width. Let's in and line up. There we go. And away we go. And after this, it's much easier to line up. Yeah, it's, again, the hired worker seems to be working at a smaller width or a wider width than we've got the GPS set to, which is a little bit odd. What we could do is set a courseplay course over to there, which is something somebody suggested to me. And I think going forwards, in order to keep the combine running, we may do exactly that. So we may set up a courseplay course, keep our combine running, and that way make sure that we're being really efficient with our time and with our hired workers. Because obviously all of this costs money. It will send us more into the red the more we do it. So I I want to try and keep this combine running. I don't want it sitting there, or I want it sitting there as little time as possible. If we have, if we're emptying, if we've got a, you know, if we're going doing that. The other way to do that, of course, is to have a second tractor carting. But I'm not sure our little tractor can actually pull and do this as much as I hope. It might be able to. It might actually be able to do that. Yeah, we just need to be cautious on that, and I think we can be a little bit more efficient going forwards. We still have another 6 days of harvest after this, and presuming we get plenty of contracts in that time, I think we could make a lot of money if we're careful about how we do it. 90% full. And this is actually really encouraging. We know that the next row, or the next time we empty the combine, pretty much is going to do us for this contract. So everything we can see, almost everything we can see on this field now, is purely going to go into our grain store, which is absolutely fantastic news. I'm really, really pleased with that. There we go. So let's grab this, fill this up. So we've got 47% in here now. This should take us up to 96%. I want to get it to 98%. I want to make sure that we have enough to complete this contract. I don't mind if we put a little bit in. A little bit extra in, but yeah, I certainly want to make sure that we complete the contract, because if we don't do that, then we're going to have to run this tiny little bit up to the sell point. So I want to avoid doing that. So we're going to put a little bit more into the combine. Start her up. Away we go. And as we discovered last night, we only need about 700 in order to fill it. So we'll just top the trailer off. There we go. I will put a hired worker on it. Actually, be the better way to go. And this will, this of course will stop it at the end of the field anyway. Yeah, again, we only need about 720, 730-ish. So that's blocked. And there we go. So we've got a full trailer. This should finish off this contract. I'm really, really hoping it will. So let's head down to the sell point and see what happens. There we go, 100% plus 753. That is about as near as perfect as I can go with that. But that is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. We have got pretty much exactly the contract's amount of grain in there. It's going to be absolutely perfect for us. It means the rest of that field we'll be able to sell at the maximum amount. We'll be able to roughly work out how much that will be, of course, because we'll be able to see from the setup. So we will check that at the end and see how much. Hopefully, that's going to make this contract worth it. If it doesn't, I think we might have to have a look at what's happening and what's going on. Maybe see if there's another route we can take. But at the moment, I'm really pleased with this. We've got a nice amount of grain off here, a nice amount of barley that we've saved, and we are going to be storing a nice amount for ourselves later for selling. Back at the field, and the good news is we've made it back before the combine has a full grain tank. The bad news is it's also finished the bit of the field that it was working on, so we need to get it moved across it looks like we're going to have nearly 10,000 litres to ourselves, which is absolutely fantastic news. What have we got in here at the moment? We've got 6,900. If we can get 4,000 litres off the rest of this field, that would be absolutely brilliant. I'm actually going to empty the combine now because it's at 80%. But yeah, we've got 2 to 3 rows left on here to pick up. Now, if this does produce another 4,000 litres, that would be absolutely brilliant. That would be great news. So we'll see how that pans out. There we go. And as I said, I think next time what we'll do is we will get this carting on a, get the tractor carting on the on courseplay, because it will just make things easier. Thankfully, we don't need to rework our GPS position, because this of course is a line that we took. So we'll turn the lines off. And yeah, there are 3 rows here, so we'll see where we are at the end of this first row. But looking at this, already we are, well, we're at 800 litres, and we've not done a huge amount, so we should get 4,000 litres off this section. If we have a look at the seasons menu for the sale prices, this is Barley, isn't it? Yes, this is Barley. We are at a low price for Barley at the moment. We could get up to as much as 667 though in the second week of winter. That would be brilliant. That is an extra 6,000 on top of this, which makes this, which actually makes this contract worth it. What the position we're in is that the contract is the contract has set us up to minus 10,000. However, because of the use of the Lexian, however, we're going to cover that pretty much just by this contract. We then are going to get about another 6,000 litres off this, £6,000 off here, which would easily clear our debt if we were doing it today. If we were selling this today, we wouldn't make quite as much. That's why I'm not selling it today. That's why this excess is going into our silo to sell later, because I want to maximize the amount of money we make on it, and that includes getting that little tuft that's been missed. And I'm really pleased. This has been worth it, and I think that is going to be the title of this video. Is it worth it? And yes it is. This contract has produced enough money to cover its costs. Interestingly, it also means that we're 1.4 hours into the current lease of the combine, current lease hour of the combine. So we've got about half an hour or so before the next one, before it costs us a load of money again. It all depends on how quickly we can do the next field, or how quickly it can get through. Wow, we're gonna have nearly another full tank off this. So yeah, that will be an interesting thing. I think we're gonna have a lot more money off this when we come to sell this grain than I thought. That is absolutely fantastic news. So very, very happy. We're going to be hopefully spending, we're going to be getting a lot of contracts like this, I hope. And if we do that, we should come out of the end of harvest and the end of the year in a fair amount of profit, I think. Certainly that is my hope at this point, because yeah, this has worked really, really well. At 20 past 7 in game. And looking good. We're going to check for any more contracts before we finish. Let's turn off this. But this, I would say, is done. We'll empty that into our trailer. See how many litres we have left. Get our combine off this farmer's land because I want to complete the contract. But yeah, that is a good amount that we've just got off here. That is a nice full trailer. There we go. So we'll back this off. We'll park this off to the side. Because we don't know where our next contract is going to take us. Turn that off. And we'll take this back to our farm. Meanwhile... yeah, 13,000 litres. That is absolutely brilliant. So with this off here, let's complete our contract. 4,000, so 5,000 for the contract. Again, absolutely brilliant. So collect that. No more contracts as far as those are concerned. We're just good. So I'm going to go take this back to the farm and complete this and get this saved. We are minus 5,400, but that is not a bad thing. I'm not looking to buy anything at the moment, so we're all good. And yeah, I'm in a happy place. That is absolutely fantastic. Next time, we'll see if we get any more contracts coming up. If not, we also have our own. Crops that we're going to be doing, so I'm guessing our crops are going to be pretty much ready next time as well. For now though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.